Have you ever settled into your morning with a steaming cup of tea, feeling like you're giving your body a gentle, soothing start to the day? You're not alone. Millions of us have cherished tea for years, whether it's the bold kick of black tea, the calming whisper of green, or the cozy warmth of herbal blends. We've been told it's a health hero, packed with antioxidants, great for digestion, and a perfect way to unwind or wake up, especially as we age. But what if I told you that the foods you're pairing with that tea might be quietly working against you, blocking its benefits, upsetting your stomach, or even stressing your system over time? Stick with me until the end of this video, because we're diving into 3 common foods you might be enjoying with your tea, everyday items sitting on your table, that could turn your calming ritual into a hidden health risk. And I'll share easy swaps to keep your tea time the nourishing moment it's meant to be. Before we start, I'd love it if you'd like this video. It helps me keep spreading these lessons for healthier living. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend hitting subscribe and turning on the bell so you don't miss a thing. If you enjoyed this video, please comment number 1 below. If it's not your cup of tea, pun intended, drop a number 0 so I can make the next one even better. Now let's steep into it. 1. Milk chocolate or creamy pastries. Let's kick things off with a duo that feels like pure bliss: milk chocolate and creamy pastries. We're talking about those silky chocolate bars you can't resist, flaky croissants that crumble just right, or those Danish pastries that call your name from the bakery case, dripping with sweetness. I can almost hear you now leaning in with a grin. Tea and chocolate, that's a match made in heaven. And you're absolutely right, it's a classic combo that warms the soul. Maybe you're dipping a square of milk chocolate into your steaming Earl Grey, watching it melt just a little before that first indulgent bite, or nibbling on a buttery pastry alongside your chai, the spices mingling with that rich, creamy goodness. It's cozy, it's comforting, and it feels like a little luxury you've earned, a treat to brighten your morning or unwind your afternoon. This isn't just some modern fling either. It's a ritual woven into generations. Think high tea with scones and sweets, dainty cups clinking, and the air thick with tradition. But before we get too lost in nostalgia, let's peel back the wrapper. Yes, little and figuratively, and see what's really happening when these two come together in your cup and on your plate. Tea is a powerhouse all on its own, a quiet hero in your daily lineup. Those antioxidants, gipians, if we're getting fancy, work like tiny guardians, fighting inflammation and shielding your cells from the wear and tear of time. It's soothing, it's steady, a gentle hand on your shoulder as you ease into the day. But milk chocolate and creamy pastries, they're a whole different story, and not the fairy tale kind. These treats come loaded, sometimes packing 20 grams of sugar in a single bar or pastry, not to mention a hefty dose of saturated fats from all that butter or cream that makes them so irresistible. Pair that with your tea, and you're not just adding a few extra calories to your tally, you're creating a clash, a tug of war right inside your body. The fat and sugar hit your system like a freight train, spiking your blood sugar fast and hard, while your tea is over there trying to calm things down, whispering peace to a system that's suddenly in chaos. For someone young, maybe in their 20s with a metabolism that bounces back like a rubber ball, it might just be a quick buzz, zip zap, and they're off. But for those of us over 50 or nudging 60, it's a different story altogether. Our bodies don't handle those spikes with the same grace anymore. They're not so quick to forgive and forget. What happens next? You might feel that initial jolt. Oh, it's a rush, like you could take on the world for about 5 minutes. But then comes the slump, that mid-morning fog rolling in like a heavy cloud, muddling your thoughts and leaving you wondering why you're staring blankly at the wall. Or maybe it's that shaky feeling, the kind that sends you shuffling back to the kettle for another cup, hoping to shake it off. It's not just a one-off annoyance either. Over time, keep pairing these sugary, fatty treats with your tea, and you're fueling inflammation, a slow, simmering fire that taxes your heart, makes your joints ache a little more, and weighs on your system in ways you might not see right away. If arthritis is already knocking at your door, or cholesterol is a number you're watching, this combo is like handing them an invitation to stick around longer. It's a sneaky betrayal masked as a moment of joy, but it's quietly tipping the scales against you. So, what's the smarter sip, the kinder choice? Keep your tea solo, let it shine on its own, or pair it with a square of dark chocolate 70% cocoa or higher. It's got less sugar, a boost of antioxidants, and it complements tea's benefits without throwing a wrench in the works. Craving that pastry vibe? Swap it for a small slice of whole grain toast with a smear of almond butter. Satisfying, nutty, and steady, not sabotaging. Your tea deserves a partner that lifts it up, that plays in harmony with its strengths, not one that weighs it down with baggage it can't carry. Make this tweak, and you'll feel the difference. A morning that's calm, clear, and kind to you, just as it should be. 2. Fried foods like bacon or hash browns. Next up, let's dive into fried foods. Think crispy bacon strips curling in the pan, golden hash browns with that perfect crunch, or maybe a fried egg sizzling on the side. This one might catch you off guard, especially if you're someone who lives for a hearty breakfast paired with your tea. Picture those lazy Sunday mornings when the kitchen comes alive. The sizzle of bacon fills the air with that smoky, irresistible aroma, or the scent of potatoes frying wafts through, each bite laced with nostalgia. It's the kind of meal that takes you back, maybe to family breakfasts around a big table, laughter mingling with the clatter of plates, or quiet weekends when you treat yourself to something warm and filling. It feels like the perfect balance, tea's gentle lightness cutting through the richness of something substantial, a duo that seems to hold hands effortlessly. But before we get too cozy in that memory, let's flip the plate. Yes, like a pancake, and take a closer look at what's really cooking when these two meet. Tea is a gentle soul, isn't it? It's kind to your stomach, a soothing sip that eases you into the day. The tannins it carries, those subtle, earthy notes, can even aid digestion when you time it right, like a quiet helper sweeping things along. But fried foods, they're the heavy hitters, the bruisers of the breakfast world. We're talking grease that glistens on your fingers, salt packed in tight, sometimes 600 milligrams or more in a single serving, and oils that under all that heat turn rancid, losing whatever goodness they might have once had. Pair that with your tea, and it's like inviting a bulldozer to a tea party. You're sending mixed signals to your body, a confusing jumble it doesn't know how to handle. The tea is over here trying to soothe, whispering calm to your insides, while the fried stuff just sits there like a brick, heavy and unyielding, slowing your digestion to a crawl and sending your blood pressure spiking upward faster than you can say past the salt. It's a clash of intentions, peace versus chaos, and your system's caught in the crossfire. And there's more to this story. Those tannins in tea, helpful as they can be, a sneaky side, they can bind to the iron in your meal, locking it up and making it harder for your body to absorb. That's no big deal if you're young and brimming with energy. But if you're over 60 and keeping an eye on your levels, it becomes trickier. Iron is what keeps you going, and when it's tied up, you might feel that lag creeping in, that little dip that leaves you wondering why you're so tired. For older adults, this combo doesn't just stop at a morning inconvenience. It can mean bloating that puffs you up, a racing heart that's pounding too hard for comfort, or that sluggish feeling that lingers like an unwelcome guest, dragging you down when you should be up and about. Over the years, if you keep this up, the salt and fat start piling on, risks, arteries stiffening like old pipes, inflammation simmering in your joints and beyond, even your kidneys groaning under a heavier load than they signed up for. It's a slow burn masked as a hearty treat, but it's weighing you down more than you might think. So, what's the fix? The kinder path. Swap that fry up for something lighter, something that plays nice with your tea instead of picking a fight. A boiled egg is a perfect stand-in, simple, packed with protein, and free of that greasy baggage. Or grab a handful of nuts, almonds, or walnuts. Take your pick, adding a satisfying crunch and heart-healthy fats that lift you up without dragging you under. Tea shines brightest when it's not wrestling with the fallout from a fryer, when it's free to do what it does best: calm, restore, and steady your day. Keep it simple, keep it kind to your system, and you'll feel the difference. Not just this morning, but in all the mornings to come. It's not about giving up what you love. It's about choosing what loves you back. Sip by gentle sip. 3. Citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruit. Finally, let's turn our gaze to citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruit, and maybe even a cheeky squeeze of lemon splashed into your tea. This sounds like a health nut's dream come true, doesn't it? Picture it. You're cradling a warm mug of green tea, the steam curling up like a promise of goodness, and you're peeling an orange, the zest spritzing the air with that bright, tangy scent. In your mind, you're unstoppable. Vitamins, antioxidants, I'm invincible, practically glowing with vitality as you sip and savor. Citrus has been the poster child for health forever, hasn't it? bursting with vitamin C, all zesty and vibrant. It's the stuff of breakfast commercials and old wives' tales about warding off colds. It feels like the ultimate power move. Tea's calm wisdom paired with citrus's bold punch. Who wouldn't want that kind of morning boost? But before we get carried away riding this wave of citrusy optimism, let's squeeze out the truth, because there's a twist here that might just catch you by surprise. Tea's got its own magic, and those tannins, the compounds that give it that slight, satisfying bite, are part of the charm. They're subtle, earthy, and a little sharp, like a friend who keeps you on your toes. But here's the rub. Those tannins don't play nicely with citrus. Not at all. When you pair them up, say dropping a wedge of grapefruit into your cup or munching an orange alongside, the acidity from the fruit doesn't just join the party. It amplifies tea's natural astringency, turning it into something prickly, something that bites back. For your stomach, that's not always a gentle nudge. It can irritate your stomach lining, stirring up trouble where there should be calm. For some, it's just mild discomfort. A little burn, a faint grumble you might shrug off. But for those of us with sensitive digestion or that pesky acid reflux, which, let's be honest, sneaks up more as we age, it's a recipe for a rough start. We're talking about heartburn that creeps up your chest, cramps that twist your gut, or that sour, off-kilter feeling that throws your whole morning out of whack. It's like inviting a storm into what should have been a peaceful sunrise. And it doesn't end there. There's another layer to the citrus curveball. That acidity doesn't just mess with your stomach. It can meddle with how your body absorbs tea's antioxidants, the very things you're counting on to protect you. Those catechins, those cell-defending warriors, lose some of their punch when citrus crashes the scene. You're not getting the full bang for your brew, not the shield against inflammation, not the boost to your energy you signed up for. It's like paying for a front row seat, but ending up stuck in the back. And if you're sipping this combo on an empty stomach, maybe rushing out the door or skipping breakfast, that acidity doubles down, hitting you harder. Suddenly, you're jittery, off balance, and feeling like your day's tilting before it's even begun. For those of us over 60, when our systems aren't as quick to roll with the punches, that's no small hiccup. It's a stumble that lingers, leaving you wondering why you're not firing on all cylinders as you should be. So what's the better move? The smarter sip? Save the citrus for later. Let it shine on its own terms. Maybe as a mid-morning snack when your stomach's ready to handle it. Enjoy your tea solo, letting it do what it does best. Or pair it with a neutral buddy like a few berries. Blueberries or raspberries. Soft and sweet, without the acid clash. They bring a gentle lift, a whisper of flavor that harmonizes instead of fighting. If you're craving that hint of something extra in your cup, try a tiny drizzle of honey, just a touch to soothe and sweeten without stirring up trouble. It's smooth, it's kind, and it lets tea work its magic, calming your nerves, protecting your cells, energizing your spirit. Don't throw a citrus curveball into the mix. Keep it simple, keep it steady. Your tea deserves to be the star, not a punching bag, and your morning deserves to feel like a win, not a wrestle. Make this tweak, and you'll feel the peace settle in. Sip by refreshing sip, what you should drink tea with. Now that we've sidestepped the pitfalls, those sneaky traps that turn your tea time into a tussle, let's turn the page to the good stuff. The companions that make your tea sing. Tea's not the villain here, not by a long shot. It's a gem, a quiet treasure brimming with goodness, just waiting for the right partner to unlock its full shine. You don't need to overhaul everything or swear off joy. It's about pairing it smartly with simple additions that lift you up instead of weighing you down. So let's dive into what should join your tea, little tweaks that feel effortless, but pack a powerful punch for your day. First, try a handful of nuts, almonds, walnuts, whatever's in your pantry. They're small but mighty, bringing steady energy that flows like a calm river, not a jolting rush. Tea's gentle lift gets a boost from their protein and healthy fats, keeping you grounded and fueled without the jitters. Next, grab a slice of whole grain bread and smear it with avocado. Creamy, rich, a little luxurious. It's a smooth, satisfying lift that complements tea's lightness, adding a touch of heart-healthy goodness to keep you humming along. Or here's a simple trick. Sprinkle a dash of cinnamon right into your cup. It's warm, fragrant, and boosts flavor while taming inflammation. A quiet hero for your joints and spirit. These aren't fussy fixes. They're pure, straightforward, and powerful in their simplicity. Tea deserves this kind of company, the kind that enhances its calm, its strength, its glow. Make these swaps, and you'll feel it. A morning that's steady, soothing, and strong, just as tea intends. It's not about restriction. It's about sipping smarter, letting tea be the star it was always meant to be. Today, we've uncovered how milk chocolate, fried foods, and citrus can turn your tea into a sneaky saboteur, and how small tweaks can make it the soothing ritual it's meant to be. So, what surprised you most? Drop one thing you learned in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're rethinking your tea time. If this hit the spot, comment number 2. Like, share, and subscribe for more tips to live stronger, calmer, and happier every day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.